A quarterback that got his second chance in the NFL was Dwayne Haskins. The Pittsburgh Steelers signed Dwayne Haskins after a really pretty crazy start to his career. I mean, he got cut by the Washington football team just 1 year and a half into his tenure there. The previous regime didn't want to pick him, and the new regime of Ron Rivera thought he was very immature. A lot of stuff happened, like flaunting his stats after a loss, not taking Thomas Davis's advice. And to this point, his stats have been 12 touchdowns to 14 interceptions, 2,804 yards, and a 74.4 quarterback rating. Do you think that Dwayne Haskins will revive his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Can I start with, do we hear anything about Ben Roethlisberger's future yet? I don't think he's made a set-in-stone decision yet, has he?
We haven't heard. I haven't heard nothing. I haven't seen nothing.
I mean, I'll start by saying this. I think if Ben Roethlisberger comes back for this one season, it will be the best thing for him because this would be a chance to sit behind a legendary quarterback and, earn your stripes, earn your way back into the fold. Pittsburgh is looking for their quarterback of the future, I think would be fair to say, following Ben Roethlisberger. And now Dwayne Haskins has the chance that, we were questioning if he would ever get a chance again in the league after the way things happened in Washington. So now, for a month later, you to get a chance with a great organization that has an elite defense, one of the most well-respected and successful head coaches in the league, and sitting behind a future probably Hall of Fame quarterback, the situation can't get much better for you to go in, learn leadership, maybe not even learn leadership, but learn how to be a part of an NFL locker room and not ostracize yourself from your teammates and just get back on your feet, because what killed him was his attitude more than anything. You could nitpick what he did as a quarterback, but I thought he showed flashes of being special at times with the Washington football team, but he just couldn't get out of his own way. So now to come into this situation, Pittsburgh is probably one of the best rehabilitory places in all of football, I would say.
Let's call it a rehab.
Not to call it rehab, but just, I think it will be one of the best places in football to revive your career just because they have a great structure. They've been such a good franchise for so long now. Mike Tomlin is such a great head coach, and Ben Roethlisberger, at this point in his career, I feel like he knows he's on the way out. He has so much to give as a quarterback because of the success that he's had in the league. So this is a perfect situation for Dwayne Haskins. It's just on him to accept it and take it, in stride and, not get too far ahead of himself like he did in Washington.
I think I can agree to the sense. I think this is a place where if you're going to do it, this would be a really good place under Mike Tomlin. You get that leadership from Big Ben. I think he can groom him and teach him to become that quarterback. I also think that the Steelers have a good enough team on paper where you can be like, all right, he can be successful here. In the same sense, he's in the way of himself. I think he's done things where you can see where, stop kicking me. What's wrong with this guy? I think he's in the way of himself, and I think he's done things where you can see why teams push off him. But I think the situation in Pittsburgh has him looking in the right direction because with Big Ben there and Mike Tomlin there, who I think is a great coach, I think he can definitely revive his career there.
See, for me,
it's always a for me thing.
Look, I'm gonna say this. I disagree with you, Jack, about it being a rehabilitory place, and the reason I say that is because first I'll start out with this. I think on paper the Steelers are a good destination, right? You have an okay offensive line. You have Chase Claypool, a good receiver, Deontay Johnson, Eric Ebron. James Conner's a free agent. Who knows if he's going to come back? Juju's a free agent also. Who knows what's going to happen with him? But on paper, you have offensive weapons, and Randy Fitchner is out, who was their Achilles heel this past season. They promoted Matt Canada to be their offensive play caller, their OC. And just a fun fact about Matt Canada, when he was in college, NFL coaches were calling him on offensive play designs. So this guy is a revered offensive mind. He's intelligent. He's brilliant on the offensive side of the football. So the Steelers might have some new life there. But who has really revived their career with the Steelers? I think the best destination for me in football all these years, as long as we're Brady, we're the Patriots with Brady. When you go to the Patriots, your career usually if you can't make it there, you can't make it anywhere because they're the best. They're the most disciplined place to play. AB did it with the Bucks now, so I'm just guessing it's just a Brady thing wherever he goes.
Yeah.
But for the Steelers, Mike Tomlin is a great coach. He's great at motivating his guys. But discipline, I don't know about that because what was the storyline for the Steelers all season long? Juju making TikToks, Chase Claypool making TikToks. What happened after the Steelers lost to the Browns? Chase Claypool making comments about how the Browns are going to lose to the Chiefs anyway and all this, and basically just, SHIT talking, just shit talking. I'll just say it. So I don't think that's very disciplined of them. They're young receivers, and Tomlin, it doesn't look like he has them under control and what to say and what's the right thing to say, especially when talking to the media. So why do I think all of a sudden Dwayne Haskins is going to mature when two of their top players or their top guys on the offense in Claypool and Juju have shown no ability to be mature to this point with Tomlin as a coach? That's a big concern for me.
Well, I just feel like Haskins, again, it's on him at this point, but I feel like he has to know this is it for him. You rarely get a second chance. You almost never get a third chance. So I feel like he knows this is it for him, and he's got to walk into this situation with that mindset. Anywhere he goes, if he was going to walk in the door slipping up the way he was in Washington, they'll kick him to the curb quicker than they even signed the deal. So,
and this is what I think it's more of. It has more to do with Dwayne Haskins
100%
realizing he has a second chance and capitalizing on the opportunity, because Mike Tomlin has shown the ability to be loose with his players and let players be themselves, which is not a bad thing. But with Dwayne Haskins, we can't just think that because he's with the Steelers, Mike Tomlin is going to, treat him like his son. Dwayne Haskins, he's a grown man. He has to make his own decisions. Whether does he want to be a great quarterback? Does he want to be a starting quarterback or does he not? Does he want to take it serious or does he not? This is on him to succeed. Do I think that he's going to take this opportunity and do so? I hope so. I hope so. Like I said, I've never been high on Dwayne Haskins, but I hope he gets it right, because you'd hate to see a career or a guy with his potential career go down the drain like this.
Yeah, I question it just because it's so hard to change your character in general. But now you're talking about having a complete character change he was released a month ago, about a month and a half maybe, and that's a huge turnaround to make in a very short period of time. And maybe, just maybe, him getting cut by the Washington football team was the slap in the face that he needed to say, okay, I got to stop BSing. This is it for me. Like, I have one more shot. So I hope, like you said, that he is able to take this situation by the reins and make the most out of it, because it could be perfect for him. Ben Roethlisberger comes back for one more season. He gets to learn that system, whatever, and then step into a team that has a lot of talent and is competing right now. So it could be a very good situation. But like you said, at the end of the day, it's on him to own up to his mistakes, learn from them, and be better and be the guy that he was hailed to be coming into the league.
Matt Canada, the new OC, has been called the master of disguise. So Steelers fans are hoping he revamps that offense and they're better next season